clearly I have to work on my setup here, but this would be something for 2025. Anyway, I got this package here from the UK. This is from Tony359. He collected a few items for me and put them together in one box, and this is now in Dubai. Today we're going to open this box and see what's inside and look a little bit more in depth at one of the items in there. There we go. Let's see, what did Tony pack? Okay, let's start with this one. Oh, the ISA debugging project from Tony. So there's the 8-bit version and the 16-bit version. I'll link the videos of these projects in the top right corner and also in the video description. Okay, very nice. Thank you, Tony. So what else do we have? Okay. So I'm using Amtech Flux from AliExpress and I have no idea if this is legit or not. It's usually quite good. But this one is something that Tony recommends. I will try this out. King Boo. King Full Total Distribution. Okay. So this is something that we are going to try. Okay, what else do we have? What is this? Oh, this may be part of something else that's in here. Yeah, so this is a connector that doesn't look like the regular PS2, so this is different. And here is a 9-pin connector going into this wire, so this one we'll keep aside for now. Diamond Monster 2, 12 megabyte 3DFX Voodoo 2. Oh, I got a note and some candy. Oh, it's a thank you note. Well, thank you so much. And of course the candy. Oh, that looks like tough candy. Kopal gnocchi. I have one of those when I start to work on this card. Look at these scratches all over the 3DFX and the memory chips here. Oh, they are quite deep as well. Well, this is something that we have to look at under the microscope. And maybe this is something for witchery. And here is another Diamond Monster 3D2 with 12 megabytes and more candy. So let's have a look at this one. Okay, I think this card was also on Tony's channel, maybe. Oh, look at this SLI connector. And I see there are some pins missing on this 3DFX chip. And that connector here feels really rough. That card definitely has seen better days. So yeah, we'll look at this in more detail under the microscope, but I have to replace this VGA connector. There is rust everywhere. There's probably corrosion in here. These chips don't look good at all. Well, this one. The others look okay. What else is in here? This one looks like another item that somebody sent me from the UK. There seems to be some damage on this board with ripped pads. So this is something we have to investigate. What's going on here? This looks like part of a larger assembly, and we see here a marking called SB55. So I know that this is the Soundbrush 55, which is from a viewer from the UK. And let's continue with the same color of plastic bags. And here we have more of the same, I think. Oh yeah, so this is basically a more or less a blind fix for me because I cannot test this. I have to see what's going on here with these traces, and I think these wires are added by whoever owns this piece of electronic. Yeah, maybe we can get rid of them. Yeah, this will be microscope worthy. And you see Roland SB55, Roland Soundbrush 55, mainboard, made in Japan. Okay, we're not done yet. Ooh. A Yamaha Tone Generator. I have absolutely no idea. Oh, I think maybe this one cable that we have seen goes in here. And I think it works with batteries. So yeah, this looks interesting. Something to experience maybe. I don't know. If you have one of those, let me know in the comments. What can I do with it? This is all that is here. So thank you everybody who sent me all of this stuff. And thank you Tony for combining everything and shipping this in one go to Dubai. So it arrived. And now I think I am going to start looking at the Soundbrush. The Voodoo cards I will probably work on in the next videos. So yeah, let's have a look at the Soundbrush 55 mainboards. We have the smaller board here. This entire video will probably be just a little bit of me fixing things. I cannot test anything because I don't have the rest of the device with me. So this will be a blind fix, and I send this back to the owner. And then he may be able to send me footage of this device working. Well, that looks like the lake after Homer Simpson disposed that silo of pig excrements, if you have seen the Simpsons movie. Yeah, it continues to go under this connector here. Luckily, I think the PCB is a very simple top and bottom layer. I think we also have to get rid of this capacitor. There's definitely corrosion, whatever that black stuff is, under this cap. Okay, this we just have to resolder, but I've never seen such a clean break of solder connections. Yeah, this just falls off. This basically went under the solder mask and damaged the copper there. So yeah, we should clean that up. Definitely, we should clean that up. Here it gets a lot harder. Here the solder mask is still okay. So this is how the copper looks like, and that's not good. So there's definitely copper below that black discoloration. This is definitely possible. I think I just have to add some vinegar. That helps me to see when I use the engraving pen where I'm working, because it just takes the debris away. 3 drops. These are just 3 drops of vinegar. Okay, I think that's it. That's the first side of this PCB, and the copper looks amazing. I'm a little bit confused with these vias, to be honest, because I'm pretty sure they should connect, but I don't think they do. Were they supposed to connect? Yeah. There is cracks in the solder. Wow, this one would just come out. This is the pin for holding the ground front cover, I guess. So I think this one is loose too. I see also here cracks. Interesting. So I'll be using the flux that Tony sent over, the King Boo. So the first thing I want to do is I want to see when the solder is melting. Okay, so this is definitely not as transparent as the one that I'm using. But Tony said this is good, so let's see. I set my soldering iron now to 250 degrees. This is lower than usual, but I don't know what solder this is, so let's just see how this reacts. Okay, it melts. Maybe 250 is enough for this board. No, I think we have to go higher. So I'll do 290. So you can see it's empty now. Let's just continue. We have to get all the solder out that we can. This is such a nice board to desolder. So it looks like the force from outside that constantly pushes on those solder joints make them break. So we have here a solder joint. This is the outer housing that secures this entire assembly. Here is a problem with the solder joints. Here is one. This one is okay. This one looks questionable. Here we definitely see something. Then I think I can see something here from the pin to the solder. This one here definitely has something, and already here we have something removed, and here as well. And here is a, I don't know, this is a screw. Maybe this is something that connects to the outer housing of this device. But here as well you can see that they are definitely cracked, these solder joints. But this is nothing electrical. This is just physical support, I guess. Either way, we have to make sure that this is resoldered properly. Are we loose now? Yes. So I think now I can already see that I can push this one through here. These ones should all be loose. Oh, here we go. And here's the entire connector out. Nice. Yeah, there are still not many issues, but there are issues that need to be fixed, and then we can trace a few of these vias, make sure that they are still connected. But yeah, this part here has to... This one has to go, unfortunately, including the markings here. So we have L, this is an inductor, we have a resistor, and we have a diode, and there's a plus marking for... Maybe I can preserve this one, but all that stuff has to go. Next one. Okay, our capacitor is loose. There you go. So that capacitor may be okay. I just remove it because we have here all this stuff that's under the capacitor. That's why I needed to get rid of it. The solder mask already coming off with the glue. Glue is stuck to the solder mask and just goes with it. So yeah, this definitely had to go. Vinegar. And let's go. So, of course, I want to show this device here as well. This was in the box that came with the Soundbrush 55 motherboards. And yeah, let's just power it on. I put batteries in there. So there's the on switch. This is battery powered. For sure, I'm using this device wrongly right now, but that's all I can do with having no experience with MIDI instruments, devices, and so on connecting to a PC, but maybe this will change. Banjo. Drums. Oh, helicopter sounds. But of course, I also practice something, so here comes my musical masterpiece. Let me know if you know what this is, what I'm going to play now. And now we are working on the second board. This is the main board. I guess the other one was just a secondary board that is somewhere in the Soundbrush 55. You have the Roland logo printed here on the silk screen. And here you can see extensive damage on the traces. And how can this happen? Well, all I can see is that here was supposed to be a capacitor. You see the markings. It looks like this is the culprit that spilled its internals over these traces here, and it was just slowly crawling over the board and damage all these traces. Here we can see there's this big trace going between those two chips, and it is corroding. You can see it. So I can see just here it's probably the entire thing. We need to get rid of one of the chips, and I think I'll take this one. Because I see there are still traces. They may be corroded under the chip as well. This one looks okay. So here's the bottom left side. And again, same scenario. You have two capacitors here, or pads that are still left over, and here are all kinds of corrosion on these traces. So this one here will be easy to fix, I think. Let's check the other side. Oh, okay. So that doesn't look good. Definitely something went at least through one via to the other side, because there is no capacitor on this side, so it had to come from the side we just looked at, and most likely one of these vias brought the liquid to the other side, which then slowly creeped into our solder mask here and ruined the copper trace. But okay. So you see some wires on top of that board, and this is a repair attempt from the owner. And they all come from these resistor networks here. I think these two traces here, let's follow them. It's most likely these. So yeah, they go through our completely damaged area here, where this capacitor did its work. And let's see these three. So the wires go somewhere. So even the last one here comes from this pin. So on these three pins are wires. I guess it's these three. And they are following exactly the same path through this corroded area. That was super easy. Desoldering gun, absolute must-have tool if you do this more often. And here we can see that the corrosion definitely went under the chip. So I think I'll go and remove this one as well, just to see what's going on under this chip. Okay, not much happened here, just here a little bit. We're good to go. Now we have to clean the corrosion. Okay, then let's get this off. Okay, then let's tin the board as good as we can. Then we can also see where we still need to add some extra wires. So I do like Tony's flux, but for this one I want to try mine again. To be very honest, I think there is not much difference between those two fluxes. Mine maybe is a little bit more smelly. It's a little bit more clear. But in general, I think from what I have seen so far, I could work with both of them. So yeah, I think the difference between having flux and no flux is the biggest difference. The type of flux definitely makes a difference, but between these two, I don't see that big of a difference right now. And here we attach the other one. Here I start just here in the top corner. Okay. So with this wire that goes around all these corners, I will basically try to secure it whenever there's a little bit of trace left. So let me see. I will go here. Okay. So now we can shift this more in the center. Like this. And we can secure it here. Stealing some solder from the nearby trace. So then we can bend it easily and continue here. So this board would be ready for accepting new solder mask, but the problem is the sun is no longer here. I have to wait until tomorrow. So we go from here all the way down to here. This one. So where's the second one going? The second one is going here. So this is the second wire from this resistor network. Okay, so if we remove these two, we should still have continuity to this chip that we just saw. Okay. And okay. Here we go. Nicely retouched. Okay, so first one was this one here. Let's see if this is, oops. Let's see if this is still connected to here. Yep, so wire is no longer necessary. And the second one. I'm slipping. I slipped again, but I think that's it. Yep. It's also still connected, so it was this one here. So, these two wires are no longer needed. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have only 5 wires? This looks a lot more than 5 wires, but it looks like this is it. So we have these 3 wires here connected to this network. Let's see. It's probably one of those remaining ones. Okay, so we have one here. So this is the one on the very left. Then we have this one here. Yes. And we have the third one, which probably is this. Yes. So let's get rid of these 3 wires and the sticker. Okay. Done. Now all the wires are gone. Okay, the chip is now back, and I think that's it. So I'll fix the other side, and then that project is finished, although I can't test it. This is then something what Richard has to tell me. This is the name of the person who owns this board. And now hopefully it will work again. And here is the final result. This is the main motherboard. You can see here all the damage around these traces has been fixed and covered with fresh solder mask. I have put back both chips, and here in the corner the same. We have new capacitors on the board. Unfortunately, I don't have SMD capacitors, so I had to use through-hole capacitors and try to make them work on this board. I hope they will do a fine job. And also the other side of the board. This is where the liquid of the capacitor went through one of these vias and damaged this area. So same here, fresh solder mask, and you can see the small wires that I pulled through the vias. They're secured and protected by the solder mask. Nothing is going to happen here. And also on the other side here, you will see the wires that are covered by the solder mask next to the orange connector. So yeah, this is the main motherboard, which now looks a lot better than before with all those wires everywhere. But we also had the tiny board, which is this one here. We did remove these 3 connectors and reflowed all those solder joints. And now all these pins have new solder connections, including this one here, which was broken. Now all these connections are very shiny. And you can see here again solder mask on the back and on the front of the board around the capacitor, and the ripped pad is also restored. Again, instead of SMD capacitors, I used through-hole capacitors. This should be fine. Yeah, and now this board can go back to Richard. I know this is not a usual fix that I have on my channel, but I needed to finish some projects chronologically, and this is now a project that needed to be done before I move on to the Voodoo cards. And today is the 1st of January 2025, so Happy New Year everybody, and thank you for all your support, watching my videos, liking and commenting. I really appreciate this, and who knows, maybe 2025 will be an even better year. I hope you enjoyed this premiere video. This is the first time I am doing something like this, but maybe I will do more of those in the future. Now I wish all of you once more a happy and successful year 2025, and I will see you in my next video. Take care and bye bye.